Imagine being told you'll never succeed. Not because you lack talent, but because you didn't fit in. Imagine growing up surrounded by poverty, violence, broken homes, and constant rejection. Most people would have accepted defeat. But one young man from Detroit refused to let his circumstances define his future. Instead, he transformed his pain into lyrics, his struggles into motivation, and his voice into one of the most powerful forces in music history. Today, the world knows him as Eminem. But before the awards, the sold-out stadiums, and the billions of streams, he was simply Marshall Mathers, a boy fighting for a chance to be heard. This is the complete story of how he became one of the greatest rappers of all time. Marshall Bruce Mathers III was born on October 17, 1972, in St. Joseph, Missouri. His parents separated when he was very young, and his father left the family. Marshall was raised by his mother, Debbie Mathers, and the two moved frequently before eventually settling in Detroit, Michigan. Life was anything but easy. Because they moved so often, Marshall struggled to make friends. He was shy, lonely, and constantly bullied at school. In one incident, he was reportedly beaten so severely by another student that he suffered a serious head injury and spent days recovering in the hospital. Those painful experiences stayed with him for years and would later become the foundation of many of his lyrics. Home wasn't always peaceful either. Financial struggles meant there was never much money, and life often felt uncertain. But amid all the hardship, Marshall discovered something that gave him hope: music. As a teenager, Marshall became obsessed with hip-hop. He spent hours listening to rap legends, studying rhyme patterns, memorizing lyrics, and practicing every chance he got. While other kids were outside playing sports, Marshall filled notebooks with verses and dreamed of becoming a rapper. There was just one problem. In Detroit's rap scene during the late 1980s and early 1990s, he was often underestimated because he was white. Many people believed he could never earn respect in a genre created and dominated by black artists. Instead of quitting, Marshall worked even harder. He entered local rap battles, performing in clubs where every mistake could end his reputation. Night after night, he sharpened his skills, learning how to think quickly, deliver clever punchlines, and captivate a crowd. Although he lost some battles, every defeat made him stronger. Slowly, people stopped noticing the color of his skin and started paying attention to something much more important: his incredible talent. Despite his growing reputation, success remained out of reach. Marshall was struggling financially, working low-paying jobs while trying to support his young daughter, Haley. There were moments when he questioned whether chasing music was worth it. Then fate intervened. In 1997, Eminem competed in the Rap Olympics in Los Angeles. Although he didn't win the competition, someone handed a copy of his demo, the Slim Shady EP, to legendary producer Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre listened. Within minutes, he knew he had discovered something extraordinary. "I've never seen or heard anything like it," Dr. Dre would later recall. The two met soon afterward, and their chemistry was instant. That meeting changed music forever. In 1999, Eminem released the Slim Shady LP. The album became a massive success, won a Grammy Award, and introduced the world to an artist unlike anyone they had ever seen. The boy who had been told he didn't belong was suddenly becoming one of the biggest stars on the planet. Success came faster than anyone expected. Albums like the Marshall Mathers LP and the Eminem Show shattered records around the world. Songs such as Stan, Without Me, Lose Yourself, and Mockingbird became global hits. His lyrics were controversial, fearless, emotional, and brutally honest. Some critics condemned him. Others called him a genius. No matter what people thought, everyone was talking about Eminem. In 2002, he starred in the film 8 Mile, a movie inspired by many of his own struggles. The soundtrack featured Lose Yourself, which earned him an Academy Award for Best Original Song, the first rap song ever to receive the honor. He had gone from battling rappers in Detroit clubs to standing on one of the biggest stages in entertainment. But behind the fame, another battle was beginning. As Eminem's career exploded, so did the pressure. Constant touring, public scrutiny, and personal struggles took a heavy toll. He developed a dependency on prescription medications, and by the mid-2000s, his addiction had become life-threatening. In 2007, he suffered a serious overdose that nearly claimed his life. Doctors later revealed that the amount of drugs in his system was extremely dangerous. For many artists, that could have been the end. But not for Eminem. Determined to survive, he committed himself to recovery. The journey wasn't easy. It required discipline, honesty, and the willingness to rebuild his life from the ground up. When he returned, he wasn't just making music again. He was telling the world that even after your darkest moment, it's possible to rise again. Albums like Relapse, Recovery, the Marshall Mathers LP2, and later releases proved he still had something to say. His comeback inspired millions of fans who were fighting battles of their own. Today, Eminem is recognized as one of the greatest rappers in history. He has sold hundreds of millions of records, won numerous Grammy Awards, earned an Academy Award, and was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But perhaps his greatest achievement isn't measured by trophies. It's measured by the lives he inspired. His story reminds us that your background doesn't define your future. Being bullied doesn't mean you'll never be respected. Growing up poor doesn't mean you'll never succeed. Failing today doesn't mean you'll fail forever. Marshall Mathers didn't become Eminem because life was easy. He became Eminem because he refused to surrender when life became difficult. Every obstacle became another verse. Every setback became another song. Every criticism became another reason to prove people wrong. That's why, decades later, millions of people around the world still connect with his music. Not just because of the beats, but because they recognize the struggle behind the success. From a bullied boy in Detroit to one of the most influential artists of all time, Eminem proved that greatness isn't determined by where you begin. It's determined by whether you keep moving forward when everyone else expects you to quit. Every legend has a story, and this was Eminem's. Subscribe to Big J Spotlight, where every story inspires, every legend lives on, and every journey reminds us that impossible is only the beginning.